tea party. Isn't it a lovely day for an unordinary tea party? Thank you. All right. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mark Anderlich. I'm president of Missoula Area Central Labor Council. And this event is sponsored by the Council and by Montana Organizing Project and MoveOn.org. And I want to kind of focus a little bit about why we are here today. And we're here today because some of those folks over there are in the midst of a road tour to convince you and me to believe that the cause of $3.70 a gallon of gasoline is because of government regulations that protects the environment, protects workers in the industry, and protects the American consumer. Now, that may at first blush sound reasonable and whatnot, but what they won't talk about is the fact that oil speculators are the biggest reason for overpriced gas. Imagine that, speculators driving up the cost of gas. Now, how do I know this? Well, I read the McClatchy newspaper article of May 13th of this year entitled, "Speculation Explains More About Oil Prices Than Anything Else." Well, that headline pretty much sums it up. This year's high prices for oil and gasoline and their plunges of late are driven largely by financial speculators making trillions by trading in oil futures while ordinary consumers feel burned, is the conclusion of the article. And who is one of the biggest speculators in the oil business? Now that's what they call it, the oil business. I heard about that. Well, that would be little old Koch Industries for one. Now, you might have heard of Koch Industries. How many of you heard of Koch Industries? Yeah, don't cheer. you're reading the cue cards wrong there. So, anyway, Koch Industries is one of the largest privately held corporation conglomerates in the United States, only after Cargill. It is owned by David and Charles Koch. David and Charles' father, Fred, founded the corporation in 1940. Fred went on later to help found that cuddly political group, and I'm thinking about the rabbit, you know, and how cuddly and cute it is, but the John Birch Society came from David and Charles' father. David and Charles, carrying on their family tradition, has used their billions of dollars in wealth. They each are worth about 20 billion, give or take a few billion. And they, in part, to found the Citizens for a Sound Economy, which later split to the Americans for Prosperity, which is hosting this little event across the way. Charles has helped found the Libertarian Cato Institute, and both brothers are big donors to the Tea Party movement. The Koch brothers also heavily funded that little old trouble we had in Wisconsin with Governor Scott Walker attempting to crush public sector unions this year. So I got to ask you some questions. How can we have a neighborly conversation when one side is bought and paid for by out-of-state corporate interests? How can we have a dialogue based on reality when one side believes that tax cuts plus government budget cuts will bring prosperity to all of you? How can we have a civil discussion when one side is totally committed to eliminating workers' rights and other rights, and to destroy workers' organizations? How can we have a conversation about the common good when one side believes that corporations are people and that democracy should serve corporations? Well, and how can we negotiate when one side holds the creditworthiness of our economy hostage? We can't. That's why we're here today, to use humor to make a point. Sometimes all you can do is laugh and then get active and speak out. That's what we're here today. So first of all, I want to make sure that all of you have gotten this ground rules for participation. All of you have this. Anyone not have one? There's a song sheet on one side. Here we go. All right, now turn to ground rules for participation, all right? Take a look at that. Now, you know, we want to make a point with humor, but we don't want to undermine our point, right? With with things. And some of these are very commonsensical, so please bear with. We will be nonviolent at all times. Okay? All times, bar none. There's not going to be anything physical whatsoever. We will not engage in any behavior that would undermine the logical, thoughtful, people-based views that we represent. Okay? We will not give the radical right. Let's see, I guess they got bored over there. Any opportunities to present us as anything but thoughtful people, but humorous people, right? We're not going to be taking this line down. Remember the ever-present video capabilities of cell phones. We will meet all interactions with our opponents with good humor, and if humorous words fail you, just laugh, okay? We will direct all press and media to a designated spokespeople. That's myself and Scarla Gady, wherever she might be.
Right here.
Oh, right there, in the red. And we will look after the well-being of others at the event, including everyone in this park, okay? So, and we, as you can see, we have a lot of children here too. So we want to keep this family friendly, right? All right. And we'll get to the song sheet a little bit later. But first of all, we have, in less than 1 week's time, we have the Not Your Ordinary Tea Party Players, just made up that name right now, who are going to present, and did we get the okay to name the authors? No. Okay. No. This play was written by Carol Lewis, okay, as a variation of Lewis Carroll's The Mad Tea Party out of Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so if you know your literature, I know there's a few teachers in the crowd here. Hope they're English teachers too. That Alice in Wonderland, this is really well done, and if I might say so myself. But I didn't write it. So what we're going to do is have the players take their places and enjoy.
Yeah. What's this, a tea party?
Not your ordinary tea party.
May I join you?
Absolutely not.
There's no room at our table. The pie is shrinking.
But it looks like there's an empty seat.
Only for students of the gospel of the new prosperity.
And who are the writers of that?
Most of our funding comes from 2 billionaire brothers in New York City, whom we call the common people.
But we are also influenced by ancient philosophers, from the writers of the Constitution to Hippocrates.
I think you mean Hippocrates. He is the great man of medicine.
Socialism!
Oh my!
Don't mind the fox mouse. He's had too much tea and bursts out sensibly sometimes. He must be respected, but only within sense and at attention.
And that never lasts long. Now, let us focus on our study of Hippocrates. Oh, here, sit, child, and learn.
Rule number 1.
What?
Corporations are people.
You mean corporations are born, they grow up, they fall in love, they get married, and they have children, and they retire, and someday they die.
No, don't be absurd. What the hare means when he teaches that corporations are people is that corporations can have freedom of speech to use as much money as they want, influencing elections and purchasing politicians.
For example, oil and gas interests expended $22 million of free speech in the 2010 federal elections.
And because corporations are people, they need lots of taxpayer help, which their free speech gets them.
Why, that $22 million investment in free speech from the oil and gas industry will yield $15 billion this year in government handouts.
Marxism!
Well, I've heard those guys are pretty messy. Don't they spill a lot of stuff? I guess since corporations are people, they must get punished for what they do wrong.
No, Don't be absurd. Corporations are special limited liability people. When you do something wrong, like join a union or ask to regulate pollution, you need punishment.
It won't change what we pay at the pump.
At last, you're learning something.
Well, why do you call yourselves Americans for Prosperity? It seems like you are making everyone except a couple of billionaires a lot poorer. Doesn't prosperity mean the greatest good for the greatest number?
Class warfare.
Prosperity is how much money the richest person has. Yes.
Now that's absurd.
Keep talking like that and we'll use our free speech on you.
Yes.
I have heard a lot about this Tea Party, but not much about the report that ending subsidies wouldn't cause prices to go up, or that speculation by you is the main reason gasoline is so expensive. Doesn't free speech mean anything?
Didn't you hear? We just bought the store from 5 Supreme Court justices we already own.
But what if somebody disagrees with you?
Then we will use our free speech on them. We have billions in speech we've used to do everything from keeping tax cuts for the rich to keeping working people from bargaining for fair wages. And thanks to these tea parties, the more public land we turn into private profit, the more free speech we have to spare.
Well, it seems like things are going great for you. Why are you always shouting?
Well, somebody else might speak up.
But what would somebody else say?
They'd say protest in the corporate give-backs. Keep rights for real people and eliminate the tax cuts for the rich. They'd say organize. Write your representatives and replace them if they won't listen. They would say speak up every time you hear us say these silly things the billionaire brothers pay us to say.
So, would you like to join our tea party?
Well, maybe just a sip.
Yes.
Oh, crap. That's not tea. You're just drinking the Kool-Aid.
Fine. That's just more for us.
And we're going to, actually, given our environment, we are going to do a little revision to the words of this song. If some of you read that. So
Too many little children here.
yeah.
We want to be the good party, not the crabby one. So the word corporate, it will be corporate butt, and it will be keep your lousy tea instead of the other part. So just so you guys know. So, lousy, yes. So butt and lousy instead of the two bad words that we're not going to say with so many children here today. For those of you who have seen the commercial, there's that Coke commercial that's out, and they're like, we'd like to give the world a Coke. So this is based off that. So I'm going to do the first little verse for you guys just so you can kind of hear the melody. And then we will, and he's going to play. Yay!
We got two people playing.
We have two people playing. Woohoo!
Well, get it to
You want to get up front?
Yeah. Think you can help me carry this?
A true democracy, when working class kicks corporate ass from sea to shining sea.
They're the evil thing. Make them go away.
For my whole family. Just keep your phony culture war and keep your lousy team. They're the evil thing. The Cokes are. Go away. They're the Cokes are. The evil thing. The Cokes are. So they leave us alone. Then go back to Park Avenue and all eat their stone. I'd like to teach the Cokes about a true democracy. Where working class gets corporate lives from sea to shining sea. They're the evil thing.
I'd like to give the Cokes the word from these corporate and keep your lousy tea. I'd like to buy the Cokes the world, so they leave us alone. They go back to Park Avenue and crawl beneath the stone. I'd like to teach the Cokes about a true democracy, where the working class kicks corporate fuss from sea to shining seas. The Cokes the bird from my whole family.
Just keep your phony culture war and keep your lousy team. The Cokes go away. The Cokes
Hey, during the skit, the recording is shut off during the middle.
That's okay, just keep doing it again.
Go ahead, get this.
No, don't take the Kool-Aid.
Don't get more in.
They're laced with Kool-Aid. Don't take it.
Majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God set his face on thee, and crowned with brothers from sea to shining sea.
Are we gonna turn around?
I don't know.
Are we just gonna stand there with their signs?
Just laugh.
Laugh?
Hit the road, Jack. Don't come back no more. No more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't come back no more. Won't you say hit the road, Jack? Don't come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack.
Hit the balls, Dad!
Don't drink the Kool-Aid!
Alright, let's head back to our side, the right side! Woo!
It's the left side.
Well, we're on the right side, so I'm going to say the right side.
We're on the south side of the party, let's just say that.
Whatever.